Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining my session. Thank you for eCommerce Day 2020. I am Adam Rivietz, co-founder and chief strategy officer here at #paid. And before I begin my presentation, I always like to begin with the founding story, how my co-founder Brian and I actually thought of the idea for #paid. So let's get in our time machines and flash back to 2013 when a close friend of mine blew up on Instagram. My friend Ronnie, she was going through a difficult time in her life. She was really unhappy in her skin. She was seeing a therapist and she was exploring ways to change her entire life around. And so what Ronnie did was commit to a fitness goal. And how she held herself accountable to this goal was by posting on Instagram. And so every time Ronnie went to the gym, she shot a selfie. And every time she made a healthy meal, she shot a flat lay. And 6 months later, Ronnie racked up over 100,000 followers. And my co-founder and I were blown away. So we started analyzing her feed. And what we realized was not only were these people following her, but they were asking her, what sports bra are you wearing? What blender are you using? What protein are you drinking? And Ronnie would go out, produce content, and endorse these various products and services, which drove a ton of awareness and sales for those brands. Why did it work? Because her following trusted her. The entire foundation of the influencer marketing industry was built on trust. Trust between marketers and influencers, and those same influencers and their followers. But you flash forward to present day, 2020, and we have one major problem in the industry. What is it? The problem is trust. Marketers do not trust influencer marketing to achieve their critical business objectives. So what I want to talk to you about today, how you can turn creators into a scalable media channel and bring that trust back to the industry. So how do we do this? Well, we need to look at two pillars, content and performance. Under the content pillar, we'll talk about creators, not influencers, how you can look at their audience health to verify that it's active and engaged, and the importance of creators producing high quality original content for your programs. Then we'll talk about performance, the metrics you should look at, and how you can optimize with something called whitelisting to help you drive the performance you're looking for. So let's start with the content pillar. Dating back to as early as the 1400s, you've got media conglomerates producing and distributing all of the content that we would consume. These are centralized powers, again, creating and distributing all of their content. But with the advent of the internet and more recently social media, you're now decentralizing that power and putting it in the people's hands, because anybody with a drone, with an iPhone, with access to social media can produce incredibly high quality content, begin distributing it through these social networks, and amass their own audience to continue distributing messaging to. And the folks that we work with at #paid are called creators, not influencers. Why? Because we've seen that creators are truly the professionals, whereas an influencer is an amateur. Why? Because creators treat their work like a craft. Whether their content is sponsored or not, they are going to be producing high quality content for their audience. Whereas influencers are simply looking to make a quick buck. Creators are only going to partner with brands they care about, and they keep their collaborations up on their accounts because they're proud of them. And it's a way for them to show off their work and continue to be hired. Whereas influencers often delete their collaborations so that they can work with Toyota today, delete the post, and maybe work with Honda tomorrow. Creators are always going to produce high quality original content for your programs, whereas an influencer might repost content that you or your agency have made, or shoot or reuse a piece of content that they've used for an existing collaboration. They're just repurposing their own content. And because creators are following these best practices, because creators are producing original content, only partnering with brands that they care about, they have developed trusted audiences. People are opting in to consume their content, whereas influencers have to buy fake followers and fake engagements to manipulate their numbers to keep getting hired. So I want to show you a couple of examples that I'm really proud of our creator network for producing. You'll see here a spot from one of our creators for Toyota. Take a look.
Let's start by finding a comfortable place to sit. Take a deep breath in and out. Let the world around you go. Focus on what's holding you back and release. Look inward and sense your surroundings. Where are you in this moment? Harness this feeling. Then, as I count to 3, find yourself exactly where you are meant to be. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, so some of you are probably thinking, hey, this looks like a TV spot. This doesn't look like what I see on social media. Well, in this case, because we worked with creators, not influencers, this creator produced this piece of content not for his feed, but for Toyota to post on their own YouTube channel and repurpose for pre-roll and other programmatic ads. And it really doesn't get more authentic than this. Little do you know, it's actually the creator behind the camera. That was his wife in front of the camera. This is actually their home. That is really their car. You can't get more authentic than that. And I'll show you one more example here from Canon.
Life can be tough. It'll try to knock you down from every direction if you let it. It will throw things at you, and sometimes you have to fight back. It's your job to get up every single time. It can chip away at you, but take those pieces and rebuild. Spin it into gold. Get out of your own way and create the life that you want to live.
That too looks like a $500,000 TV spot. It looks like a Nike commercial, but Canon paid that creator just $10,000 to produce that video and post it to her 250,000 followers. So as you see, creators are typically producing higher quality than that of influencers and even higher quality content than some agencies. And don't just take my word for it. Quality can be subjective. On our programs at #paid, we partner with third-party measurement solutions like a Nielsen. And what we were able to do in this particular study was show that the target audience, when they were exposed to creator content versus traditional television creative, both produced for the same brand, the creator content was more visually appealing, higher quality, equal in terms of professionalism, and that much more tasteful. Audiences are preferring content produced by creators than brands or their agencies. It's resonating better. So how does it resonate better? It's because you need to be working with people who have a real audience, who understand that audience and know how to speak to them. So make sure you're using software that scans for fake followers, whether it is the hashtag paid platform or any of the other tools out there. There are a variety of ways to validate audiences and make sure that the creators you are working with have a real and active following. On our platform, every creator has a follower health score that indicates what percentage of their following is active and engaged. So as I mentioned, if you work with people who don't create original content or don't understand their audience, it's not going to resonate. So make sure that you start with a very detailed brief, but more importantly, make sure you approve every piece of content before it goes live. And again, a lot of people do this over Dropbox or email or the hashtag paid platform, where creators upload every single photo or video, story, caption to the platform, and you have the opportunity to speak with them directly and request any revisions or simply approve and schedule the post to go live. So that's the content pillar. Now we need to talk about performance. Once you've found the creators, what do you do next? Well, we like to ask, what is your campaign objective? What's the KPI you're looking to move on this campaign? But we challenge our partners to tell us, how does that campaign ladder up to an overarching business objective? Because we're not here to just help you get a campaign out the door. We're here to be a long-term partner and help you continuously move those most important metrics forward. So we've invested into our measurement department to advance reporting beyond the basic, fluffy social media metrics. We've moved beyond likes, comments, a cost per engagement, a sentiment score, or an engagement rate. These are all great top of the funnel metrics, but if you want to measure performance, you got to go beyond that. But if you are thinking at the top or middle of the funnel, if you're on the brand marketing team, you need to be thinking about propensity to purchase metrics. Things like an increase in purchase intent, brand lift or brand recall, an increase in web or store traffic. Those are leading indicators that show you your target audience is moving in the right direction. That being said, if you are a performance marketer and you care about conversion metrics, there are more conversion metrics than just sales. Are you driving new users signing up to your website? Are you driving new app downloads? Those are other conversion metrics you can look at to show that your creator marketing is driving a positive impact. Then you can actually begin to optimize. These are three very simple, very high-level examples to just iterate the optimization process. So you can begin to look at the type of creator you're working with, the type of content that they are producing, and the different audiences that each of the creators have. So diving deeper, when you're optimizing by creator, we see here, Renee and Priscilla drove that much higher purchase intent than Lauren. But what we also see is that Priscilla and Renee are both parenting and family creators. So the insight here, double down on working with parenting and family creators. Similarly here, we see stories are driving the longest amount of view time. So the insight, double down on producing more story content because your audience likes it. And lastly, optimizing by audience. We see Chicago is performing best here. So you can actually optimize by audience location in two different ways. You can, on the organic side, look at which of your creators over-index on having an organic following in these particular regions, in Chicago in this case. That shows that you need to have the audience demographic information. You need to know not only where your where your creator is located and their age and gender, but you need to look at their audience and know the audience's age, location, and gender, and whatever other data points you can collect. But secondarily, you can also take the creator content and their handle and begin to whitelist their content, which means that you're buying an ad through their handle, through a Facebook ad manager or another social network that guarantees you that the audience would be in Chicago in this case. But let me dive deeper, because I'm sure some of you are wondering what this whitelisting thing is. Well, whitelisting is exactly what you're already doing. I guarantee that every single person here watching this presentation is buying paid social ads, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name a social network. The majority of them offer this feature called whitelisting, where you buy your ad, you go into Facebook Ad Manager, you upload an ad set, you input your targeting information, you choose your objective, and then you can measure your results against that objective. The one and only difference from buying an ad through Ad Manager versus what I'm talking about here is that the ad is going to come from the creator, not from your brand. So imagine you're scrolling down your feed, and instead of seeing Toyota sponsored, you see here, Maria Rio. In this case, it would say in paid partnership with Toyota. And I'm sure many of you are seeing more and more of these ads in your feed that are coming from people, not from brands. And what we've seen at #paid is that when you buy an ad through a creator's handle versus your brand handle, it can drive up to 3 times better performance. So that might mean more clicks at a lower cost or more acquisitions at a lower cost. Most of our partners who test whitelisting for the first time, they will do exactly what you see on my screen. They will take the same content, the same budget, the same target audience, and run both ads simultaneously, one through the brand account, in this case Canon, while also running it through a creator's account. And then you have an apples to apples comparison as to what is going to work better for your brand, running ads through a creator or running ads through your brand. And both of them work hand in hand, but depending on your objective, one might perform better than the other. So you need to be testing both of these. Again, running the ad through the creator handle as well as through your brand handle. And so when you combine these two pillars, content as well as performance, you can see some incredible results. Here's an example. One of our partners, IKEA, they had a joint venture with Sonos where they were integrating Sonos speakers into various IKEA products that were both sold in-store and online. In this particular case, they challenged us to measure if we were not only driving sales online, which we can do through pixel tracking and UTM codes, but were we actually driving retail traffic? Well, through our measurement solutions, IKEA told us that what their cost to acquire a customer was, what their average cart size was. And we drove people into IKEA stores at a 40% lower cost than what they had typically been paying. More online examples for this audience. We have a more virtual product, virtual education product, where Precision Nutrition is trying to educate people on becoming nutritional coaches. And so they wanted us to drive leads to their platform, people to sign up for this certification program. And they have worked with us both in a managed service and a self-serve capacity, both of which are lowering their cost per acquisition. In our best campaign, we lowered their cost per acquisition by 40%, driving a 4-to-1 return on ad spend. And a more relevant retail example, you can see here, Zulily, one of the top retailers online for female fashion items. You can see Zulily, they didn't actually believe that creators could drive them a positive return. They had often used organic So they would pay creators, they'd send them product, they'd hope that they'd pay or that they'd post. And when they did, it was very difficult to calculate their return from organic posting to the creator's feed. But what we did with them here was leverage whitelisting, and we could track with the Facebook pixel every single follower who saw a creator's post, who then visited Zulili's website and made the purchase. And we were able to attribute over $150,000 in sales to this test that only had 6 creators post content. So what I hope you got out of today is an understanding that when you work with creators, not influencers, and when you optimize towards real metrics, not fluff, you can solve the problem of trust and turn creators into a scalable media channel. Thank you all for listening. I hope that you enjoyed. Please ask questions in the chat. I've got Kelsey here jumping in and answering, and I am now done and can also ask questions. And we'll also be at our booth for the remainder of the event. If anything comes to your mind through any other sessions that you're a part of and you want to come back and chat with anyone from the #paid team, we will be at our booth for the remainder of the day. And feel free to check us out on social or visit our website. Thank you very much.